All right, are we live? Is this live? Is this happening? Let's see. Let's pop it and let's turn on live chats. There you go. All right, this is gonna be good. Let's see how this goes, guys. Let me fix my subscribe pillow in the back so that you guys can fully see that. There you go, little Undertaker, Power Ranger toy, whatever. My dog. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. I am streaming on the Coolpad Legacy, so let me know if you guys are having any issues and we'll go from there. So let's see if we can get a few people in on the chat tonight. First of all, let's see. Let me get on YouTube tonight. And, it's just a Friday night live tech chat or whatever. Nothing too fancy. I just wanted to get on and see who's on tonight, see who's wanting to chat about whatever. I do have the Visible Mobile R2 or the ZTE R2 that I just got, and I just uploaded a video on it actually. So, I mean, check it out. I mean, I did a data speed cap test on it. I'm just trying to figure out, like, hey, like, is it a good phone? Is it not a good phone? It's got 7 views already, so can't complain too hard on it, I guess. Let's see if I can get anyone. Let's go ahead and share this on Twitter. Maybe I can get some Twitter people to watch. Hopefully not. We'll see. I don't know. If not, then I might have to get off early tonight. I do work early tomorrow, by the way. So if I can't get anyone on the live stream tonight, then we'll see how it goes. I'm not expecting too many people. I think the other night we had a good live stream chat, and we had a good amount of people in here. So not too bad. Again, I'm messing with the camera. Bear with me. Trying to get the best angle here. It looks like I got one person in here, or somebody else went ahead and liked the video. So go ahead and leave a chat. Let me know what you guys are, if you guys are interested in chatting tonight. Again, I've been testing out the Visible R2, which is a pretty good phone. I mean, I can't complain too hard. Right now, if you do a phone swap on Visible Mobile, all you have to do is just pay $40 to get this phone for free, basically. So basically, all you do is send in an old Android phone or even an iPhone if you have an iPhone, and you'll get this phone as long as you pay for the first month of service up front. So not too bad. Again, the phone's not a bad phone either. I think the only thing that I really kind of dislike about it is the way the back feels, or I wish the back was a different color. I'm not a fan of the color. Should get rid of the IMIE sticker or whatever. I mean, I don't even know why some phone companies put those stickers on the back. They're really not necessary, and they're hard to pull off, by the way. I'm trying to pull it off right here as I go. So let me pull off the sticker. I remember pulling these off phones back in the day, like my Nexus devices, and it was just a pain in the butt because sometimes the little sticker would not come off. So it was a pain in the butt, but we'll see. Let's see if I can get anyone to join in tonight. I mean, again, it's Friday night. I don't expect. And again, if I can't get anyone in tonight, that's all right. Might go to sleep early. We'll see. Let's see if I can get anyone involved in the chat tonight. See, did I share this on Twitter? Yes, I did. Okay. Might have to exit out just to see what's going on here. But if you guys are joining in, say hello. Let me know if my stream's working properly tonight. My dogs are having fun over here, by the way. All right, so while we're waiting for people to join, I'm going to turn on my AC because it's already hot in my room and I'm already dying. I'm already dying of heat stroke over here, people. And I bought this shirt recently, by the way. Check this shirt out. It's Vegeta turning into an ape. I bought it at a local Pokemon Fest that I went to recently, which you will see in the review video of my the Rico ride. So check that video out if you haven't already as well. All right, come on, guys. Give me at least one person. Come on, let's see. Where's Michael here? Yeah. All right. Hello, hello. My dogs are having too much fun down here, by the way. Oh my god. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get what's going on with my dogs really quick. They're being real playful, by the way. By the way, I'm live streaming on the Coolpad Legacy, by the way. So, what are you guys doing, huh? Chihuahua versus whatever kind of dog this is. I don't know what kind of dog she is. Heard that she's like a Shar-Pei mix or something like that. And you can see my shoes on the floor. But anyway, guys, I mean, this is just a regular random live stream. So don't pay attention. If you guys decide to watch this later on after I upload it, you'll see my dogs being real playful with each other. Again, I am testing out the Visible Mobile R2, which is right here. Let me go ahead and point that out. Well, in front of the dogs at least. I mean, I wanted to do kind of like a live overview of this phone. So if we get more people in the chat, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. You know, what's going on with this? Why won't this stay? What's going on with gravity? By the way, I keep stacking over these two phones on top of one another, and for whatever reason, the Moto G7 keeps falling off. I don't not know why. So again, my dogs are having fun here. They're having too much fun, maybe. Look at my little Chiweenie there. She's getting defensive. What's happening, uglies, huh? Are you guys being playful today? Are y'all having fun? Oh, you're YouTube famous today. Alright, and they got bored already. They got bored and they're going back to sleep. And Coco, my other dog, she's already underneath the little area there. Alright, let's get this back on me, and hopefully we can get some people to join in on the live chat here. Again, if you guys are just joining in, say hey. Let me know what's up. Again, this is just a random live stream that I'm doing tonight. Let me get this back on the tripod, and let me see if that. Let me know if that looks good, guys. If not, please let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, because again, I don't know if the microphone is sounding any good or not. I do have a external mic connected to this, but I don't know if it's any good or not. So let me know, guys. I mean, you know, say hi. Let's get the chat going so we can continue the chat. You know, I don't plan to stay on past like I believe 12:30 Central Time, which is like 1:30 Eastern, and well maybe till about 1 o'clock in the morning my time. Depends if I can get anyone in the chat here. But again, say hi, guys. Let's see. Say hey. Let me check that out. Say hey. Say hey. Yeah. Hey, look, I was the first one that made a chat. Yeah. So. Tito Escobar, good morning, man. How's it going, dude? I hope you saw the video that I posted on the Visible Mobile R2 data speed, man. Edward Kinsey, I was just wondering what carrier you go through. Me personally, I use T-Mobile as my regular daily carrier, but recently I have been testing out Visible Mobile, which again, it's a new prepaid service. Offered, and it's an under Verizon Wireless's network, I guess you want to say. And I've been testing that out for a couple of days, and so far, you know, I haven't really had too many. Oh, okay, you had to start dinner. All right, that's okay, man. No problem, man. I mean, do what you got to do, man. You got to take care of the family first. If you have time to watch the video later, I know you were wondering about the data cap speeds. That's fine. If not, I can do one live for you here, man, while you're eating. So just because you're here watching live, I'm going to go ahead and do a live speed test for you, man, on the Visible R2 for Visible Mobile. And this is, again, the ZTE R2. And let's see if we can get that closer for you. I'll just give you a spoiler, though. Earlier, I was getting about 20 to 30, almost 40 meg download speed. So you can see there, right there, my download speed was 21.3, and this one again, upload speed's been relatively okay. It's been around between 10 and 15. So right now you're seeing it already around the 10 area. So not too bad. I mean, so right there's one speed test again. Let me do one more for you, Rob, just to get that going. I know you said you're preparing food for your family, so yeah. I mean, I'm indoors. I mean, I feel like I've gotten better signal or service here at home than I have when I've been out, actually. And again, it's relatively depends on where you are, I guess. When I was live streaming the other day on this specific phone, I it was around rush hour time. Everyone's on their phones at that time, so I can honestly say that the network was congested, obviously, right? So there's that. I mean, it is what it is, but look at that. I got 41 download and I'm getting about 15 uploads, so that's pretty good. Again, this is it's very, it is what it is. I mean, it really depends on your area and where you live. But I got 41 download speed right now, 15 upload speed, and that was just a sneak peek, Rob, uh, on the Visible Mobile R2 again. Like I know you are testing out the service, but you're not using it on this specific device. I know that you got they're using it on your Pixel phones, or your at least I hope it's working on your Pixel phone. Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I just wanted to do a live stream tonight. I just wanted to give chit chat with you guys and have a conversation, see what's going on, see how everyone's doing. If everyone's okay. I'm live streaming on the CoolPad Legacy, by the way. So, Rob, I know you are probably one of the only ones that I haven't seen review the CoolPad Legacy. So, man, reach out to them, man. Maybe you can get them to send you one. If not, man, the Boost Mobile version is probably your best bet if you decide to throw money out there for the CoolPad Legacy. But man, it's a great device, man. Uh, your Pixel 3 is working fine. By the way, I'm like looking at myself over here while live streaming, so bear with me, guys. Okay, so I'm just I'm over here live streaming, and if you see me look over, it's because the little chat over here on the screen disappears. I am live streaming on my phone. So I'm just looking back and forth. So like no complaints there. Okay. Okay. Let me send a picture to my friend here. Doing a live stream. I'm sending a Snapchat. What do you want? Oh, my dogs. My freaking dogs want to get out now. Sophia, what are you doing? Do you want to get out? She looks like a small dog, by the way, but she weighs like 50 pounds. Dude. She is a fat dog, dude. So is this one. Here, you want to go? Go. Get out of here. I don't want you to. Alright, so check out my new shirt, by the way. Dragon Ball. I got it for like $10 at a PokeFest recently, man. So I don't know if I told any of you guys about that, but I went to a local PokeFest, which is kind of like a little mini Comic Con, but they cater to people that are very into Pokemon. You could buy a lot of Pokemon related items there, and of course you have the anime tables that are selling all these type of shirts. It was fun. I mean, it was only a 1 day event. Usually when they throw down events down here, it's usually like at least 2 days, but because it's Pokemon, it was only 1 day. I went and actually shot some of the footage on my Wiko ride on that day. So if you guys haven't seen the footage from that video, go ahead and check out my Wiko ride video, review video. It's going to be past the halfway point. You guys have to watch like all 20 minutes of it just to see the video or see the video playback of that. But it was okay. I mean, I had fun. I mean, I went with a few friends. It was just a lot of walking around. You get to enjoy seeing the cosplayers. They had live band. They had a band that played a lot of Nintendo music actually, and so they were playing a lot of video game music, but they were also playing a lot of Pokemon related music also. It looked cool. I wish we had that here, but maybe I just haven't seen it. I mean, you might. I mean, if you're in the Arizona area, it really just depends on where you live. A lot of the stuff down here in South Texas is relatively new. They just started doing PokeFest a couple of years ago, I believe. So this is like the third or fourth year that they do it. So I mean, for the most part, it's not bad. I mean, you can't complain. I mean, that was my second one I think I've been to. But again, like they're basically like going to Comic Cons. Like the convention center that I go to, anytime they have an event, it's all the same thing, no matter what the name is, whether it's PokeFest, RGV Fan Fest, if it's Comic Con, whatever. It's like the same thing. All the same vendors go, and they sell the same stuff, which is just like a lot of collectibles and Funko Pops and whatnot, and then they'll have a few guests here and there. I have not rated for Armored Mewtwo yet. I might do that either tomorrow or Sunday because I have been working. So I think tomorrow I get out early and Sunday I'm off all day. and I'm off Monday also. So if I have the chance, maybe I'll do some rating on either Sunday or Monday. But I've just been relatively busy. I mean, I've been trying to just focus on my job, obviously, when I'm home. There's days that I just want to come home and rest, so I really am not focusing on like going out and, raiding and doing a lot of stuff, especially with the heat, how it's been lately. I kind of hate that you can't raid after like 6 p.m., man. That's one thing that I kind of hate about Pokemon Go, because I want to do it when the weather's a lot nicer and when it's just nice outside. And you either have to be up extremely early, or you have to, just not do it at all. Uh, Rob says I'm going Sunday. It's harder here because it's so hot during the day, right? Yeah, dude. I mean, for the most part, it's the same here, man. Like everyone that does rating, they just do it from their cars. So, hello, Samsung 211126. Can't wait until Samsung's Galaxy Note 10 comes out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Samsung's is a good brand. Don't get me wrong. I have not been a fan since I had the S7, obviously. But for the most part, it is what it is. When it comes to usability, if you guys like Samsung and that's your thing, I mean, you could still get a Samsung Note 8 and it'll still work really well. So I mean, for the most part, you don't really need to get the new version, which is going to be the 10, right, or the 10 plus, whatever you want to call it. Why do you do it when the Note 9 is a perfectly good phone, and I'm pretty sure it's still a top tier device. You know what I mean? I've never had a Note series phone. My brother-in-law and my sister had the Note 8, and I mean they were good phones. They took. I mean, one thing that I can tell you is they took really great photos. I mean, you can't complain about that. I mean, they got the job done with photos and videos. So if there's kind of one thing that I hold Samsung over as far as the phone goes. It's picture quality and video quality. I think they have much better video and picture quality, in my opinion. But that's really subject to whoever's reviewing the phone, obviously. Yeah, I'm sure they're good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I just have no need for one. I mean, if I'm going to use a phone with a stylus, I mean, I'd rather just buy an iPad, or I would rather buy an iPad mini for productivity. You know what I mean? I don't think I need to carry around such a big phablet-sized phone. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this in the background, but they sent me a new mobile bag also, and I put it up as a wall piece in the background, by the way. So, uh, the screens can't be beaten. I mean, you're not wrong about that, but a lot of the other smartphone companies are starting to manufacture with OLED screens now. So, I mean, even my iPhone has an OLED screen, and I'm really not complaining on the way my OLED screen looks on my iPhone 10. You know what I mean? It's a good phone. It gets the job done. Uh, yeah, Samsung has the best screens in the business. Of course, they probably are patenting all their technologies as far as their screen goes. But for the most part, like I don't need such a crisp looking screen. As long as the phone is working good, screen quality to me is not so much as far as a preference. As long as it's good, like me, like if you were to look at the device on this, which is the Visible R2, it's just got an FHD plus display, which again it's like an IPS display. Yeah, you can kind of see like the bleeding when you turn the phone around like this. You see that how there's a little bit of a bleed or whatever, and once you start turning it specific ways, you're not seeing it. But if I'm just looking at it straight, like looking at it straight, this phone looks completely fine. You know what I mean? And that's because this phone, I don't have the brightness all the way up. This is with the brightness all the way up, and this looks a lot better with the screen up. But I usually have the screen like maybe either halfway or a little lower than halfway. So it really depends on preference. Having the best screen isn't the best for me. Pat H says, shout out to the Pat H. I read Samsung screens were actually made by Apple and they have a lawsuit. I don't know. I've never heard about that. You would have to link me that article, Pat H. By the way, go subscribe to her channel, by the way. She's going to be an up and coming YouTuber eventually. But for the most part, I don't think they do. I know that Samsung actually sells Apple their OLED screen so that they can put in their iPhone 10 and 10 pluses or whatever you want to call them. That's just funny though. But yeah, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've never heard of that either. So, but that's an interesting statement. Thank you for the comment, Pat H. Thanks for joining in tonight. Hope everything's good. with you. I work. I have to be at work like in 6 hours, by the way. But I'm gonna live stream a little bit tonight, just because I don't know when my next YouTube video is. I do know that I probably either want to get a review video for this specific phone, either tonight or not tonight, either by Sunday or Monday latest. I think probably Monday will be the day that I put up a review on the Visible R2. By the way, so I mean you can't complain. This is a free phone, by the way, as long as you do a phone swap. And you pay $40 you pay the first $40 down for the first month of service. I mean, boom, once you get the phone active, I mean, no complaints. I mean, it's a nice little phone. I think the one thing that's kind of impressed me about this is the camera on this phone. I mean, it takes really good pictures. I mean, hold on. Like, let me bust out little Batman again, okay, just for the heck of it. Let me take a picture of little Batman over here. And for this phone takes really good pictures in low light. Like, you'd be surprised. But let's see. Let me see if I can get that picture open. But this phone takes really good pictures in low light. I don't know how to explain that, but for the most part, I think it has like what, a 13 megapixel camera. Here, let's see if I can get that. There you go. Maybe I have to angle it. But yeah, this little phone, this again $100 phone by ZTE, takes really good pictures. And you know, video. I have not really tested the video quality just yet, but I do plan to maybe either tomorrow or Sunday. I do plan to do a walk around video of my brother-in-law's new ride, which is the Toyota 4Runner that you guys saw the video of. And I will take video with that, specifically just with this device, just so that we can test it out and just so you guys can kind of see the video quality of the R2, because I really want to see it. And I know it just shoots in 1080, but even then, like, I'm happy with the phone that can shoot really good 1080p video, and I'm not upset that it doesn't shoot in 4K at all. Like, I mean, who needs 4K really? I mean, unless you work for, you know, a multimedia company that makes commercials over here or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, thanks for joining in tonight, guys, by the way. Cheeto says Pat H shared a link. That's interesting. Again, I've never seen any articles saying that Samsung is suing Apple. Yes, I know there's been like back and forth. There's been stuff in the past between Samsung and Apple as far as like lawsuits go, but I mean, it's more patent issues than anything else. You know what I mean? Let's see. Come on, let's see. Did my thing freeze? Am I freezing up over here, guys? What's going on? What's going on? Should I flip the hat backwards? There we go. I'm gonna research that, and if it's true, I will shout out Pat for sharing that with us. Yeah, man, go ahead and check it out. I mean, again, I don't know if that's a true article or something like that, but I mean, if it is, cool, you know what I mean? I mean, I can't complain if it's not true, you know what I mean? I mean, when you have multi-billion, trillion-dollar companies, you know, fighting for, you know, stuff like, I guess, patents and whatnot, you know, you're going to get lawsuits here and there. But I don't know. I mean, let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? I mean, I saw Spider-Man twice this past week already. That was fun. Samsung's been making OLED screens for a decade. They even put OLED screen on D-lip phones in the 2000s. I don't know what that is. D-lip phones or whatever. I guess older type phones. But yeah, I mean, that's not a surprise. I mean, back when I remember smartphones were first a thing. I mean, even the original Galaxy phones. Yeah, okay, yeah, flip phones. Even the original Galaxy phones had AMOLED displays, and then they converted it to OLED or OLED displays, which the technology is there. I mean, you're going to see it in other devices, but if Samsung owns the technology, then other companies are going to pay out of pocket for that, just because it's one of those things where if they own the patents of something and then other companies want to use it, whether it be TVs or smartphone or whatever, they're gonna pay so that they can make more money. But then again, that also hikes up the price of other devices also, because if one company is paying another company to use any type of technology, whether it be processing or processors or even like screen technology, that's going to add more value to the phone that they're trying to sell. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at one, like, I do think that it's a good idea to do that, but I also think it's a bad idea because, it's not very good for the consumer, because again, not everyone has like $1,000 to spend on a smartphone. You know what I mean? So that's why, if I had to choose and like I couldn't afford the iPhone 10, I would be happy with this really cheap IPS display that ZTE put out or or whatever you want to call it, an FHD plus display. You know what I mean? Here's the Moto G7. You know, this is again, it's an HD plus display. I updated all the apps, and again, you're gonna get a little bleeding if you like turn it to the left or right, but the screen on the Moto G7 is really not bad at all. So I mean, like if there's one screen that I'm pretty impressed with, it's this one. Also, the new mobile G3 Plus screen is pretty nice also. So even though you know these budget phones do not have the technology or that you would get like in a flagship device, like they've gotten a lot better. And like for reals, like anyone that would have to use this phone for whatever reason probably would not complain about the screen or the clarity. So all right, Tito, have a good night, man. I don't know if I'll be on much longer, so take it easy, man. Check out my other vid, by the way. Give it a thumbs up, by the way, man. Thank you for chiming in tonight, by the way. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks. And go check out Tito's channel if you guys haven't, by the way. He's posting like 2-3 videos a day recently. You're going hard. You are going hard on the video, man. So big shout outs to you, man, for being a great content creator, man. Keep it up. Have a good night, man. We'll see you next time, okay? And for everyone else that's here, whatever you guys want to talk about, again, I saw Spider-Man twice this past week. Spider-Man Far Away from Home. So if you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. I might end up getting my brother-in-law's 4Runner that he just purchased. If after tomorrow, we'll find out. But if he decides that he wants to sell it, I might actually try to take it home or bring it home and make it as my second, you know, vehicle, I guess. Or you know, I want another vehicle, obviously. But the money is not there right now. But my father said he would lend me the money, and I would just pay him off like in incremental payments or whatever. Which again, it's a $2,000 vehicle, so the payments are going to be small. I'm not going to be paying like $500 a month like on my current car, you know what I mean? So it's a 2002 Toyota 4Runner. Has 270,000 miles on it, but everything runs perfectly. The only thing that really needs work on is like the rear drum brakes on it. And even then, like that's probably going to be like another $500 to $600 in parts and labor, probably if I do spend the money on it. So again, it's just going to be little things here and there. And once I have that, though, I'll be able to use that as a daily driver to work, and that way I don't have to put so much mileage on my other car, because right now my other car, I've only had it for like 7 or 8 months already, and it has already 10,000 miles on it, almost 10,000 miles on it. So I think that's a relatively big amount of mileage for me not having that car that long. It took me about like 2 or 3 years just to get the amount of mileage on that car on my last car. You know what I mean? I had that car for like 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? So I think it took me like 2 years. Again, I was dailying it to work, but the thing is, I didn't travel as far. I drive about 40 miles to work every day, going and coming. So that's why that's why I'm considering getting that second vehicle, just so I can maybe drive it out there once or twice a week. That way I don't have to daily my car every day. You know what I mean? I can take the other vehicle and it'll run just fine on the road. So let's see. I guess did everyone get off? Does anyone else want to chat? Samsung, are you still there? Pat H, are you still there? Let me know if you guys are still watching, so I can keep the live stream going. Again, I know I'm not as interesting as some other people like CV Tech and TechRite and Kevin Breeze. I want to give all those guys a shout out, though, especially Kevin Breeze, man. That guy's been going hard on his videos lately, which I'm impressed, man. Kevin Breeze, if you're watching this later on, shout outs to you. But if you guys want to do a Q&A on anything, whether it be about phones, tech, myself, whatever, my YouTube channel. I was watching a video earlier on, I don't know if you guys follow any other YouTubers, but I follow a guy named Matty Hapoya. And he used to go by, his YouTube handle used to be called Travel Fields. And he changed the name, and it's just his name now. He has about like 400,000 subs, I think, getting close to the 500 mark. He's a friend of Peter McKinnon, so if you know who Peter McKinnon is, then you might know who he is. But he's been daily vlogging for like the past couple weeks already. And I've kind of just appreciated what he's been doing, especially for like the YouTube community, because first of all, it's giving me something to watch every single day. You know what I mean? And it just kind of gives you an appreciation for what like daily vloggers have to go through, because it's a lot of work. I mean, even if it's just to put together like a 10-minute video, 10-15-minute video, like these guys are constantly posting. Yeah, dude, Kevin Breeze has been posting hard. So, you know, I know that he has been, you know, well, I don't know if his channel has been going up in subs. I think he's getting close to the 4,000 mark already on his videos. So I think that's pretty impressive. You know, him and TechRite. I mean, TechRite's I think already around 55, 56,000. He passed the 50 mark a while back, but he hasn't jumped up too much since then. Myself, I just hit the 8,500 mark about a week ago. I'm closing in on 8,600. But realistically, like I know that's still not a lot compared to a lot of other YouTube channels. I think it's a lot for me. Like I mean, I've never had that many subscribers, obviously, but considering I started this channel back in 2013, 2012, 2013, and you know, it's just been like a roller coaster. You know, I stopped making YouTube videos for a while, and you know, when I was going to school, I was really focusing on just school, my job, etc., like that. And only recently, up until last January, did I start wanting to do more YouTube videos. You know, I wanted to start getting back into YouTube, and the reason why is because you know I really enjoyed being a content creator. I mean, I think that that's something that you know got away from me for a while, and I don't know why I got away from it. Probably because I was in a very sour relationship with my last, you know, counterpart, my last girlfriend. We were not in a very good environment. I was not in a very good environment to be making videos, especially like weekly, let alone daily. You know what I mean? I remember I would maybe put one video out a month just so that my channel can stay relevant. But ever since I've started posting again, you know, I started posting again last year, I think, or what was it, last January consistently, and my channel has grown about close to 2,000 already, 2,000 you know, new subs. So I mean, I have to appreciate that you know all the posting and videos that I've been doing is giving me a lot. You know it's paying off slowly but surely. You know what I mean? You know, I'm hoping that one day YouTube's algorithm picks up my channel to where it's just constantly posting, you know, sharing and putting my videos in the suggestions so that way people can be watching my videos. But you know, I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I'm posting 2 videos a day. As a tech YouTuber, it's very hard because you know you obviously, and that's because I was watching a Magic Tech's video earlier, and you know he was posting a lot about you know saying that like you know he's been busy with his work and his family, all that. By the way, shout out to John from Magic Tech Reviews. If you're watching this, man, I hope that you are at least still watching YouTube videos from other content creators. But you know, he was just talking about the daily life and struggles that you know he's going through, and you know that he just really hasn't been. Thanks, man. Commented on your first video, my first video from like, yeah, I got the notification on that by the way. So that's you, by the way. Oh wait, yeah, that's the YouTube Studio notification. So I got the notification on that. So I mean, it's tough. I mean, my first video was so long ago. I mean, obviously, I've been doing YouTube longer than this channel. I actually had another channel that was just dedicated to me playing like an arcade game, and that channel is buried away somewhere. I had like 100 videos on there. Also, I think I had posted like 100 plus videos. And my actual first real tech video was on that channel. I had posted a video of one of my first phones. I think it was like the LG Optimus Elite or something like that from LG, and it was a Virgin Mobile phone, and that was just a horrible phone, but it was one of my first videos. I think it got like 8,000 hits, you know, and back then like 8,000 was a lot for that, you know. Now you know you follow those big YouTubers, like a lot of them. Once they post, they instantly get like 100,000 to maybe like 500,000 hits in one day. So that's crazy. Like to think that you know these YouTubers are you know making so much as far as ad revenue, and then not just the ad revenue, but just so many people are chiming into their channels. So I'm hoping that one day that gets to me eventually. Again, guys, I can't do it without the support of my YouTube followers. So again, thank you guys for joining in. And if you're just joining in right now, say hey. You know, just give a chat down below. Hit that like button as well. CV Tech, what's up, man? How's it going, man? Good to join you. You just missed Rob, by the way, or you missed Tito Escobar. I'm just talking about whatever right now. I'm talking about daily life of a YouTuber. I was watching John's or Magic Tech's video earlier. He posted how he's getting a new car and how he's going to go back to school and maybe get certified to do something. I think he said HVAC technician, which I believe that's like what, like for AC or AC cooling. So that's good. They make good money, man. And it's really like, if you get into the business, you can make your own hours. You start your own business, etc. So for him, that's good. Or um, do you watch Jerry Rig Everything interesting videos? And I watch Unbox Therapy, but I have not checked out Jerry Rig Everything just yet. There's just so many YouTube channels. I right now I kind of follow like a set of YouTube channels, and right now I'm just sticking to that for now. Eventually, I do want to get into other channels. Right now, my interests are up and down. Myself, though, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, I wish, I had the money or whatever, or the following so that people can send me the tech items for me to review and unbox, etc. like that. Guy Fieri. Hey, Nick Gurr. Oh, okay, I get it now. Funny. I don't know who that is, but anyway, it is what it is. CV Tech can probably relate to me that as far as like how hard it is to be consistently making YouTube videos every single day, right? Especially because there's just so many, so much new tech coming out and just whatnot. So Guy Fury, very funny by the way. But CV Tech, if you're just joining in, also again, I was talking about the Visible R2 a little while ago, and just kind of how impressed I have been with this little phone. It's been pretty good, man, for the most part. For $100 a smartphone, it's really not bad at all. For a 5.5-inch touch display, everything like that. I think the one thing that I'm impressed with the most right now is the camera, man. The camera on this thing is kind of a beast. Like, I'm very impressed. So, and if you guys are wondering which phone I'm streaming on right now, it's the CoolPad Legacy. And by the way, CV Tech, I saw your unboxing of the CoolPad Legacy, and the design of it is different. The Metro PCS version is more of like a silver metallic version, but the Boost Mobile version is more of like a carbon fiber finish on the back. So, CV Tech says I'm supposed to get one sent, but yet to see it. Okay, yada yada yada. What are you supposed to get sent over here, CV Tech? A phone or what? Or what are we talking about here? I'm sorry. Like I got lost in on what I was saying. Uh, but yeah, for the most part, oh, the Visible R2. Oh, so Visible reached out to you or what? Yeah, so I actually reached out to Visible Mobile. I talked to one of their like reps on Facebook and Twitter, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll how do you say we'll send out information to the marketing department or whatever, and they'll get in touch with you." But I haven't heard anything. It's already been a week since they told me that, and I know that they have to go through other like YouTubers or whatever first, obviously. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait. I'll just do this. I'll do their swap program. I'll just do their swap program, which I only paid $40, and I actually, you'll never, you'll laugh at which phone I actually sent back in its place, but I actually sent back this phone. I still have the box for it, obviously, and I still have the charger and whatnot. But since the Wiko Ride only cost me $40, and since it cost me $40 to get this phone, because you do have to pay for the service up front before they send out the phone. I was like, you know what, this is like my cheapest device that I have right now. So I just literally like sent the phone in the other day. I did the review on it, and then I sent the phone out. I have no shame, guys. Samsung says I'll sub to you, CV Tech. Samsung, stay subscribed to me though, man. CV Tech is a great channel, by the way. He does great reviews and unboxings, by the way. So check his channel out. He'll do live streams on occasion, and believe me, he has a very big following, more than mine, by the way. Yeah, the Wiko Ride was a very big disappointment. I know they sent one to Kevin Breeze, and I know, like, even though he posted on Twitter saying, "Oh, it looks like a promising device," like we already know it's not. Like I think he's just being nice because they sent it to them, or he sent it to them. But I really do hope that he does give his honest, feedback on the phone. And I was as brutally honest as I could be on the review. Even though it was only $40. People are gonna say, "Well, hey, it's a $40 smartphone. You can't be so critical." Yeah, you can, because you're still spending the money on it. So, Samsung, thank you for being a loyal subscriber, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being loyal, by the way. There's not a lot of loyal YouTube subscribers, by the way. I feel like some people once you subscribe that they just kind of get off and they don't, they or they'll stop watching after a while. Like there's some people that I remember from when I first started my channel, like Tito is one of them. CV Tech is one of them as well. There's a few other YouTubers that will pop up every now and then in my comments and say, "Hey, good to see that you're still doing videos." But for the most part, like I don't really see them anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't really comment or whatever. I mean, I can't complain though. I mean, I know everyone has their lives. I know not everyone has access to being on YouTube all the time. Me personally, I'm just making it a thing to where I'm trying to at least post some sort of content for you guys, even if it's not tech related. So like again, I'm doing this live stream for you because at least my 6 followers or my 5 or 6 followers that are consistently watching me can enjoy this, right? But for everyone else, that my other 8,500 subscribers that are not watching me right now, at least it's there for someone. Yeah, I think the Wiko Ride is probably more catered for like people that are either just getting into a smartphone or even just like someone that just needs a backup phone after, because they broke their really good phone and they just need a cheap device to last them a couple of months. But even then, like right away, I can tell you that they're they're going to be disappointed. You know what I mean? And they won't last long with that phone. I would rather buy an unlocked phone or something like that. I'd rather do something else with. The Wiko Ride was a disappointment. So like, if you purchase it from a place like Best Buy, make sure that you return it within that 14-day uh, little return policy day, because you're gonna want to return it. Okay, it's not one of those devices where you're gonna last long with it though. It'll be a quick upgrade. Yeah, you're right, man. So Samsung says like the new iPod that should never existed in 2019. I mean, the iPod is still a good thing to have. I mean, people kind of bash on why the iPod still exists or the iPod Touch, if that's what you're referencing to, right? And the fact is, no, you don't really need an iPod Touch, but at the same time, I mean, they're good because first of all, like my niece who's only 4 years old has an iPod Touch, right? So I think they're good devices for like to buy for your kids or whatever, because first of all, like your kids are always wanting to touch your phones, right? So yeah, they're good for kids. So they can play games and they're not going to be constantly having to borrow your phone. Obviously, yes, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi to get anything out of it, especially if you're like streaming. Yeah, you could just buy an iPhone 6 for like $100. It's the same thing, you know what I mean? I mean, in reality, yeah. But at the same time, I mean, some people, that they don't think about that. A lot of people don't think about those little options. You know what I mean? Yes, you can buy a used iPhone. It doesn't even have to be like working as far as like the service goes. Oh, guys, I have an itch that I can't reach. There you go. But yeah, he's right. You can get a used iPhone 6s or even an iPhone 7 for between like 100 and $200. Uh, so if you're gonna buy an iPod, for me personally, if I were to buy one, it's because like I'm either constantly listening to music or I need something as a backup for when I'm traveling. Okay, so when I mean that, like, okay, yeah, you can have like your iPhone 10. Like me, I have my iPhone 10 right here. But if I'm traveling and like let's say I take a bus or I take a trip and I don't want to be on my phone because I don't want to drain my phone battery all the time, I want to have something that will just connect to Wi-Fi that I can just enjoy something to stream on or play a game on, etc. like that. And that goes back to having an iPad or an iPad Mini also. You don't have to have an iPod Touch, obviously, but at the same time, not everyone wants to take their $1,000 smartphone also when they're listening to music, when they go exercising and whatnot. So if you hit the gym specifically, if you have one of those little armbands that you can just put right here and then go to the gym and not have to worry about having your phone on you. And the cool part about that is you can still get your iMessage messages on it as long as you're connected to a Wi-Fi. So if your gym has Wi-Fi, you leave your phone in your locker, and someone decides to message you or FaceTime you, that's the cool thing about the Apple ecosystem. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that you can still get text messaging and your iMessaging to your iPod. So CV Tech says, I don't know the going prices for the new iPod, but yeah, they're about 199 by the way. $200. I think for like the 32 gig, but I don't even know if they sell them with that little memory anymore. I think they're selling them with like 64 gigs of memory now. If I'm not correct on that, I should check Amazon right now. I should do a review on an iPod Touch, right? Just for the hell of it, right? Okay, let me exit out here. iPod Touch. I'm gonna put 2019. No, I'm just gonna put 2019. Let's see. Electronics. Okay, all I'm getting in this case is, hold on. Let's just type out iPod Touch. Let's see if they're selling it on Amazon first of all. Yeah, they're 199 for the 32 gig, and it says the latest model, by the way. And they come in different colors, by the way, also. So I remember Android 4.0. I remember Android. I think my very first version of Android was like it was on a tablet. It was like Android 1 point like something, I think. But my very first smartphone Android version was Android 2.1, I believe, which was I think it was Gingerbread or Froyo. I think it was Froyo, or maybe it was Android 2.2. I remember it was Froyo, I think. But yeah, right now you can get a iPod Touch for 199. You can even get a renewed iPod Touch, which is like just a refurbished or whatever, for 139, 32 gigs. So that's really good. People don't realize, hey, like even some of the used Apple tech is pretty good. Fifth generation renewed. I mean, you can get all these, versions of the iPod Touch. They don't come with the fingerprint sensor either, so you're gonna get one with just a regular, a regular little home button or whatever. So, don't expect that. But again, like I'm seeing here that you can get an iPhone 7 Plus for like $399. So that's like what, a couple $100 more. So that might be why some people would rather stick to just buying an iPod opposed to buying like a smartphone in place of an iPod. And even though it's the same thing, even though I agree with CV Tech, it is the same thing essentially. But if I can snag the latest iPod for like $100, I'd probably do it. You know what I mean? Just because, not because I'm going to be using it all the time, but I don't want to. I don't always like being on my phone. You know what I mean? I like to have like a secondary device to look at every now and then for just specific content, not porn, by the way, guys. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Um, let's see. My visible mobile data network speed test already has 10 views, by the way. That's pretty good for a Friday night, by the way, because I just posted the video a little while ago, so that's not too bad. I've noticed that my videos are getting a little better. I have a few phones that have Android 9.0 right now. Um, Jose Talks, is that you? Jose Talks, what's up, man? Shout out to you, by the way. I'm on Android Z. Very funny, right? We're over here talking about the iPhone. Yeah, and I'd rather get a 6S. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not a fan of the iPhone 6, but it's the same thing. You can probably snag one for like $100 as well. And if you're smart, you can go to Boost Mobile and just swap it out. Just tell them that you're switching over carriers just to get the device, and then even though it's going to be carrier locked, at least you could use the device. Like again, iPhone 6, 6S, even whatever, or even an iP or even an what is it called, the iPhone SE. Those are good little phones. I had one for a good couple of months before I sold it off. I ended up selling it for like $100, I think, but even those little phones hold good value. You know what I mean? And again, if you can find one that's like 32 gigs of internal memory, you're fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there you go. CVTech says you can get a straight talk iPhone 6s for $150 right now. So, and I know Boost Mobile has like a lot of promotions where you can get like, depending on where you live, like where I live currently, they're having promotions where if you port in a line, they'll give you a iPhone 7 for free. So. Samsung says Android Z will most likely be the last Android version. It just doesn't make sense after Z and will probably replace a new operating system. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Android is ever gonna go away. Just because they run out of letters in the alphabet doesn't mean that they're gonna, change the operating system. So I think Android's always gonna be there, but at the same time, they're gonna have to think about a name. Obviously, they're just gonna maybe just have to go with Android the end the year. So Android 2019, Android 2020, you know what I mean? And then vice versa, you know what I mean? Or they might have to start doing double letters like Android double A, Android double B. Start thinking of new stuff. Maybe they'll just go with numbers like Apple. I mean, and it's relatively simple to do that. I mean, right now they are on 9.0. Obviously, once they reach Android Q, which will be 10.0. The thing about versions of Android is, I remember when they now they're just skipping numbers, right? But before, when I started on Android, they were on Android version 2.2. You know what I mean? And then there was 4, and then 4.1, and then 4.2. I think after Android 5.0, they just stopped with the little decimal numbers or whatever. And they just decided, hey, we're after 5.0, we're gonna just jump to Android 6 or whatever. But even then, you have one of you guys said you have Android 8.1 right now, I guess. I know, but was there an Android 7.1? Was there an Android 7.2? Like 8.1 is just more of like a security patch, you know what I mean? And vice versa. What's up, Mario Baylor? Jose Talks, what's up, man? How's it going? Again, we're just having discussion on iPhones, iPods, and we're talking about versions of Androids right now also, which is just weird. Um, I think that's so funny that we're talking about versions of Android, by the way. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't complain. If they run out of letters, hopefully they just stick with numbers. Okay, there was an Android 7.1.2. But again, those are just like security patches. I mean, it's not really a bit major difference as far as Android goes. Yes, I'm responding to a friend over here. CV Tech says I've used Android 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty cool. I think I've only used 2 through 9, unfortunately. Um, Maybe 1 point something through 9, I guess, but I've never started on like the original version of Android, which I believe was on the Sidekick, if I'm not correct. That was on the T-Mobile device. So I mean, I've used a lot of versions of Android. I have not used every single version of Android, but I mean, there's just so many. It's like saying I've used every version of iOS. It's just too many to go through. Which, if you think about it, it really hasn't changed since Android like 5 or 6.0. You're really not seeing too much of a difference as far as like the operating system goes, or how it looks at least. Maybe the actual performance has gotten smoother and better. I remember when Android 5.0 came out, on the Nexus 5, it was so buttery smooth. Like I had such a very good experience with the Android with the Nexus 5, and I'm not talking about the Nexus 5X. I'm talking about the Nexus 5. Okay, guys, that was probably one of the best user experiences on a smartphone that I have ever had. Even the Nexus 4 was a good experience because that one was running, I believe, on Android 4.1, if I'm not correct on that. But those two smartphones kind of like set the bar on user experiences for me as far as Android goes. And then when I switched over to iPhone, I could just, it was hard for me to go back to Android. I'm still on iPhone, I'm still on iOS. There's very few devices that I can say are up to par up there with iPhones as far as their fluidity goes. So I'm talking about like just jumping from app to app, opening, closing apps, etc. Check out my cat, by the way. My cat's cleaning himself. He's on my bed over there, and he's just chilling. Watch my cat take a bath, guys. He's a big slut. It's too funny. Cheeto. 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 I feel like throwing something at him. All right, he's going to town on himself, so I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna show that much further, guys. Sorry, you guys had to see that, by the way. But I mean, no, like, I mean, will iPhone get USB Type C? I don't know. I mean, they already transitioned their laptops to it, and a lot of their Mac devices, like their iMacs, have Type C ports in the back. So will they eventually switch over? Probably, maybe even as soon as the next iPhone device. But at the same time, the lightning, the little lightning cable is just very it's very easy to use. I mean, you don't have to think about it. Same thing with USB Type C, obviously, but I mean, so many people have them already, and Apple can charge whatever they want for them, obviously. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people don't like the fact that Apple does that, where yeah, you have two different connectors. But what can you do? I mean, it's like having an older Android device with micro USB. I mean, I don't know why phone companies are still using micro USB, but even if you buy like a lot of Bluetooth headsets or items, you're still seeing micro USB as the charging. I remember my ex girlfriend bought a pair of Beats 3 headphones, I think, which was the last one. It was like a year or two ago, I think. And to charge it, it was just a micro USB. It wasn't USB Type C or anything like that. So even though uh, these new technologies are there, you're not seeing a lot of new stuff, I guess, as far as like other tech products go. I'm not seeing Type C on a lot of like other items. You know what I mean? I want the Moto Z2 Force. I remember having the original Moto Z. Well, actually, no, I had the Moto Z2. Well, maybe I had the Moto Z2. I don't remember. That phone came out a couple of years ago. I think they're already on the Moto Z3. The Moto Z2 Force was not a good phone, though. I mean, the camera app was probably the worst thing that I had experience with that, and so was the battery life. The battery life sucked on it, by the way. So those were just my qualms about it, though. So I've been thinking about getting a Moto X4 just because I think you can get it for like $100 right now on Amazon. I'm not too sure. And even though that phone came out like in 2017, it's already almost a 2-year-old phone. It still has relatively good specs, you know what I mean, as far as the actual smartphone goes. And I'm really shocked that Motorola has not come out with the Motorola X5 yet. So, which I think is weird because Motorola, the X series was supposed to be their flagship device, and then for whatever reason they just said, "Hey, let's just try something new and let's go with the Z." You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, I was like, really, Motorola, like coming out with another flagship device? Like, what was wrong with the Moto X? The Moto X was their flagship at the time, and I remember when I think the original Moto X 2 or 3 came out, that was their flagship, and then after that, they decided, hey, we're gonna start afresh and go with the Moto Z and go with all the Moto mods, which no one really cares about or buys. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Motorola is a great company for thinking differently and doing things that other smart companies aren't doing as far as their attachment goes for their Moto mods. But I mean, how many people buy them? You know what I mean? What is the actual usability of those? I mean, especially when they're costing you like $200 just for a Moto mod. You know what I mean? And I never even got to buy a Moto mod for the Moto Z phone that I had. So, like personally, I would just rather buy a Moto G series phone and spend like half the money that I'm going to spend on it. Epic Man 720, what's up? Not much, man. We're just chilling tonight. We're talking about smartphones. We're talking about the Motorola phones. We're talking about iPhones. We're talking about Android as a whole and the user experience for Android, I guess. Okay, I'm just responding again to a friend here. Yeah, man. So we're just chit chatting here. If you guys are just joining in, please hit that thumbs up, by the way, on the screen right down below. If you guys are watching on your smartphone or tablets or even on your computer, and we're just gonna go from there. What time is it? It's already 12:30. Okay, so wait, what time is it? Is it 11:39 or is it 12:39? Ah, the clock on my computer is frozen. That's weird, by the way. Actually, my computer froze. I'm gonna have to restart this thing right now. I don't know what's been going on with my computer. It's a Windows thing, I guess. My computer never froze on my Mac, which is weird. So I might start using my Mac again. I don't know why. But yeah, 10:43 for me. Yeah, you're in, I guess, the Mountain Time zone. Let's see. Can I turn it off? Can I get this thing to turn off? Nope, I guess not. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna force shut this thing off real quick. Yeah, I was like, it's not 11:43 where I am. It's almost 1 a.m. where I live. So let's restart it. It says it's shutting down. Look, it's all that porn I'm watching, guys. Sorry. It's all the porn that I'm watching. I'm sorry to let you guys know about that. Hey, CV Tech, I didn't know you were still here. CV Tech says, I personally like my Pixel and my iPhone. I use those for making and editing videos, but I don't take much to it don't take much to satisfy me about phones. I'm completely satisfied with the Legacy. The Legacy is a great phone, by the way. I can't complain. Yeah, you're on the East Coast, CV, so I know you're an hour ahead of us. That's why when you're always live streaming, I'm like, damn, he's live streaming like at 2 a.m. my time over here. But I mean, for the most part, like, I mean, it's all about user experience for me. So if you guys are happy using the phone or computer or whatever, and you're happy, by the way, check this out. New mobile. I have new mobile badging on my iPhone 10 over here, by the way. I think that's completely funny. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. When I got the iPhone 10, it wasn't really so much because I wanted a flagship, but only because I missed my iPhone and I couldn't see myself getting the iPhone 8 or 8 Plus at the time. Um, and I guess I just decided, hey, I'm gonna go with the iPhone 10 to test out all the new tech at the time, which was the face unlock and the face emojis or whatever you want to call them. And for the most part, I've been satisfied. Again, this phone, this is the longest I've probably ever had a smartphone, and it's gotten the job done for me. You know what I mean? So I can't complain. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain too hard on this specific device. Um, am I going to get an iPhone 10x or 10x Max? Maybe. I might decide to trade this in when when the next iPhone comes out, when those phones are a little cheaper. You know what I mean? Because you don't really have to have the latest and greatest version of Android or iPhone to get the best experience. You know what I mean? Because they're all going to work the same. Like any Apple device you have, whether it be the iPhone 6 all the way to the 10X or the 10X, it's going to be exactly the same, guys. Like that's what people need to kind of understand is that you're going to get the same user experience on those devices, whether minus the face unlock. But I mean, you're going to get the same camera app, you're going to get the same style looking home screen, everything like that. You're going to get most of the same features. The only thing that you're not going to get is like the facial recognition, which a lot of people won't care about. You know what I mean? And I think after this next generation of iPhone comes out, they have already kind of discontinued the touch the what do they call it, the fingerprint sensor. So basically, not everyone's not going to really have a choice after the next couple of years, but to go to the full screen iPhone. You know what I mean? Okay, my computer just restarted. So there it is, B Tech reviews. I was watching YouTube over here earlier, by the way. I was watching some of Potato Jet's videos, by the way. If you guys haven't checked out Potato Jet, by the way, check his channel out, dude. He is one of the funniest YouTubers. Even though his YouTube is mostly about cameras and lighting and photography and videography. He is a funny guy, and the way he implements his like comical sense into his videos is just ridiculous. And you learn a lot, by the way. So. He's a funny guy, though. I'm a big fan of his. When I first started following him, I think he only had like 60,000 subs, I think, and now he has close to like 160,000. By the way, I'm gonna type it out. Potato Jet. Let's see. Let's find him on you. He has already almost 400,000 subscribers. Never mind. He jumped up so much, by the way. So he jumped from, I think, like I said, when I first started following him, I think he was like under the 100,000 mark, and now he's already at almost 400,000. So he's a really like on the go, fast rising YouTube star. You know what I mean? So I mean, hope to meet him one day. He's a pretty cool guy. He's from California, I think. Though, so all right, my computer's working again. Now that all the porn is off the computer, we can focus on talking about cool stuff now, guys. Okay. Let's see. Can we go home? Can we go hit my live stream? It says Friday Night Talk with B Tech. All right. All right, here we go. Let's see, what was my last chat here? Samsung, the Moto Z4 looks nice. I'm just not a fan of the Moto Z series at all. Like I really wish that they would update the Moto X series, but I mean, it is what it is. What can you do? I mean, you can't really force a company to make, branded items just because you want them to. You know what I mean? Wow, this chat is lit tonight, guys. By the way, you guys are all here with me still. That's pretty crazy. All right, hold on. Let's see. I got 7 people, but only 5 likes. Come on, guys. Hit that like button for me over here. And if y'all have the means to donate to Super Chat, please do so, because it helps small YouTubers like me, especially when it comes to buying products. Like, I mean, anytime someone does a Super Chat, again, that can go to a tech review item that I can review for you guys. So let's see. CB Tech says, I'm wondering what kind of deals they'll have on Amazon Prime Day. That's true. I've been hearing a lot about that, and I don't know. I mean, for the most part, you're going to see a lot of stuff like sell out really quick, though. That's the thing. That's one thing I kind of don't like about Amazon is like their inventory is not as good as you would think it is, right? From all these different sellers, but I kind of just feel bad sometimes for the Amazon workers, because you hear all those horror stories about Amazon people that work for Amazon. And I feel kind of bad because I kind of make a little bit of money off Amazon also. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Amazon Associate Program, right? Or Amazon Affiliate Program. So what an Amazon Affiliate Program is, It's basically like if you're a social media person like me, like for instance, who has a YouTube channel, you can sign up for their affiliate program, and anything that you buy or recommend, you can basically post a link on the videos that you're doing, and you can get like a small kickback of the percentage of whatever's selling. So like let's say something sells for like $1,000, for instance, like you're promoting something that costs $1,000, and then they give you a percentage of that. Like let's say they give you 8 to 10% of the value of that. Because of you help make the sell, you get like $100 easy. You know what I mean? So I make a little bit of Amazon. I don't make too much. I make maybe like $5 a week, maybe, if anything, on Amazon. It's not like my YouTube earnings over here. So if you guys ever see me where I'm saying, hey, check the link down below, it's because I get a kickback from that. And I'm not trying to force you guys to buy anything, obviously, but if you guys ever do see that and you guys decide to purchase, just want to thank you guys, because every time you guys make a purchase on any of the Amazon links that I post, I do get a small kickback from that, even if it's like 50 cents, you know. Hey, but 50 cents is 50 cents, man, and especially in today's economy, which apparently the economy is thriving, by the way, which I don't think so, but minimum wage is still $7.25 in Texas. So I don't know how that is a thriving economy, but I guess everyone needs to become a doctor or nurse in order to have a good living. Okay. All right, let's see. What are we talking about here? The LG Stylo 5 still looks the same. I mean, you're gonna get that with LG phones. I mean, if you look at phones like the LG Tribute, most of the LG Tribute phones look exactly the same. They just changed the name: the Tribute Dynasty, the Tribute Empire, the Tribute whatever solar panel, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm just, I don't know. I mean, LG. I mean, if you look at like their Q series phones also, and their flagship devices, which is like the LG Thin Q8 or whatever you want to call it, the Thin Q7, a lot of them look the same. They're not. It's not like, it's not like their devices are, relatively, stylish looking. I don't think LG has ever been known for, uh, having a good design smartphone. I think their LG G8 looks nice. I think that's a nice looking smartphone, though. I mean, for the most part, like their build quality is still top tier in my opinion. You know what I mean? I can't agree with CV Tech because I've never used any of the Stylo phones, but I'm gonna take his word for it that the Stylo phone sucks. All right, sorry, I was sending a picture to my friend there. Um, the LG V series phones. I've never had an LG V series phones, but I know that they're basically like a supercharged like version of the LG the how do you say the G series? Oh, wait, is it the G series phone? Yeah, the LG G series phones, which like again right now their flagship would be the LG G8, but for the V series, I think the V series would be the 410, the 44, the LG V40, I think, which would be like their newest one. I think I'm getting lost with the numbers. There's so many numbers and things with these phones nowadays. But yeah, I mean, those to me are their top decked out spec phones. You know what I mean? I really wanted to get my hands on like the V30 when it came out, but I just never got a chance to. But when the V40 comes out, if it's already out, I don't even know because I don't follow LG too much anymore. As far as the smart phone game goes, just because there's so many versions of those phones already. You're saying they need an LG V50? They're like the Samsung Note phones. I mean, I just know that they have like better cameras and whatnot. I know there was like they were advertising the V series phones heavily also, especially when it came to like the camera quality. When I had the LG G6, I really enjoyed the camera quality on it. Also, I thought it took great pictures and great video. You know what I mean? Their newest LG V15, not sure if it's released yet. The LG V40 has been out. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it would be what the LG V40 right now, which again, they I remember when they first came out with smartphones, they've been using the G series, and then they're using the Q, and then now the V. It's just like, make up your mind with the letters. Same thing with Motorola. Like, how many letters can you use? Like, why don't you just call it this phone or whatever? Like I remember HTC didn't have issues with that. Like HTC would actually have names for their phones, like the HTC One or the HTC Epic. You know, the HTC Epic Touch or the HTC the Evo. You know, it had cool names. You know what I mean? Now you're just getting, well, yeah, you have the Motorola Z, the Z3, the Z5, the G5. You have the LG G8, the G7, the G6, or whatever. The LG V40. Like, those are not cool names for a phone. Like, I mean, do what Samsung. I mean, Samsung has basically stuck with the Galaxy phone, obviously, but at least, you know, Galaxy 1 through 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? At least, I don't know. I mean, they don't have a lot of crazy names for their other phones, I guess, because they really want to focus on their Galaxy series. But even the cheaper Galaxy series, like I remember having the Galaxy Reverb back in the day for Virgin Mobile and the Galaxy Rush. They did have like small code names for those lower end phones as well. So check those videos out on my YouTube channel if you haven't. By the way, I actually have videos on those. It's too funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, damn, that's crazy. I mean, but yeah, I think smartphone companies should get better at naming their smartphones. Obviously, Android needs to get better with naming their operating systems. Obviously, I mean, what can you name? What dessert starts with the letter Z? I don't know. Zebra cakes. Android zebra cake over here. Android what Q is going to be probably Android. I don't know what kind of dessert is starting with the letter Q. Kind of like Nokia 2, 3. Yeah, Nokia doesn't really have good names for their phones either, and it is wow. I can't believe you're mentioning Nokia. Like if like they're really not relevant anymore. I've been wanting to review a Nokia phone, but I just haven't had it in me. Same thing with Sony. At least Sony, they have one name for their phone, like the Sony Xperia, you know, or like the Asus Zenfone or whatever, you know, which is a weird name. But either way, you have what are these other companies? I don't know. I mean, like other companies like Huawei, you know, at least they had like the P20, the P30 Pro, whatever you want to call it, the OnePlus, you know, 7 Pro, whatever you want to call it. They're not really getting like, you know, cool with the names. They're just giving them numbers and letters and whatnot. I've never tried Android One on any of the Nokia devices, I mean, we're just okay. Hold on, let's see. Nokia is making great phones. Android is awesome. I hope, and I mean, yeah, I mean, let's see. Well, hello. Okay, sorry, I was responding to a chat there. Um, let's see. Just guaranteed updates on the regular. I mean, yeah, but even then, like, even if you own like a Android flagship device nowadays, like, you're only guaranteed up to like 3 years of you know Android versions. So I'm talking about like Android. You know, you have this letter which is pi all the way to P Q whatever letters PQR. So you have those three letters, and then once if you have the Pixel 3 or the Pixel 3a right now, you're only going to get up to Android R, and then after that, they're not going to roll out any updates for you. So the phone's only good for 2 or 3 years at the most. But even then, what is really the lifespan of a smartphone? It's not like you're going to have a lifespan for more than a couple of years. That's why I think most smartphone companies, especially Google, do that for a reason because they know that you're not going to have you're not going to have the Pixel 3 or 3A for like 5, 6 years, only because they know that something eventually is going to crap out on it, whether it be the battery life or the screen, or they or even the user. The user ends up breaking the phone and they end up having to upgrade eventually to something else. So I mean, even then, you're still once you get that last security update, though. I mean, I think that's one thing that kind of iPhone does have over Android right now is like you can probably still have as low as like the iPhone 6, and you're still getting iOS 12 updates and whatnot like that. So that's okay. But I'd be interested in trying out those Nokia phones. Um, let's see. Let me share my. I'm gonna share my video, I guess, because someone's asking me to share my video really quick. Copy link. All right, let's go ahead and do that really quick. While I do that, let's. All right. Yeah, I mean, I know that their phones have been like less than a couple $100s. I mean, every time I hit up Best Buy, I think I seen like the Nokia devices for like between 100 and $200, depending on which Nokia phone you get, obviously. Uh, BlackBerry is now using Android. That's old news, by the way. I've been considering getting like, I actually saw someone using a BlackBerry phone the other day that had Android on it, but it had physical keyboard. It had a physical keyboard, and I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like it kind of reminded me of like when you had a keyboard on your flip phone or your whatever phone you want to call them. And I kind of miss those days because I miss actually having something physical to touch rather than just a touchscreen. You know, even though using a touchscreen like on an iPhone or whatever is relatively easy to do nowadays, it was a lot more difficult. I think it was a lot more difficult to do back then than it is now. But even then, like I mean, for the most part, like if you have a big screen phone, it's relatively easy to be typing away on your smartphone. But I don't know. I mean, just for me, just to do it like and go back to a physical keyboard, I don't know if I could go back to an actual physical keyboard. I think it would be weird, I guess, to have something like that as your daily, especially because like half your screen is going to be chopped off, so you're only going to get like this much screen. It's like having like you know portrait mode on your device or something like that, like or not even portrait mode, just like yeah, just having like that bit of phone, and then if you want to watch video or something, you're not really going to get a great user experience as far as the screen. So if you're going to use something like that, it's probably because you're not watching that many videos or whatever, or you're not doing a lot of multimedia streaming on your device. Personally, I don't think I would go back to a phone like that, even though I think they're interesting. I remember my cousin a couple of years ago. Also, he had an old school Virgin mobile phone that actually kind of looked like a BlackBerry. It did have like the physical keyboard, but it did have like half the screen also where it was a smartphone, so you could actually use that screen as a smartphone. I forget what the phone was called, but I actually liked it. But the phone that specific phone was known for having like horrible battery life, and it was just like I feel bad because I was the one that convinced him to buy that phone, and he just did not have a good user experience with that phone. So BlackBerry ain't doing much, which is not a surprise. I'm still thinking about getting the ZTE Axon M or whatever you want to call it, the phone that you unboxed a while back, CV Tech. Just because I know it's still cheap right now. Let me check out Amazon right now. I mean, if I can get it cheap on Amazon Day, maybe I'll do it. Right? Let's see, the ZTE Axon M unlocked right now. It's $127. I'm seeing new. I'm not seeing used, but look, I'm seeing here. Okay, Z99. Let's see. Okay, there's a 64 variant for 143. And they're still selling the ZTE Blade V8 Pro for $209, which is crazy. I don't know. But I'm still waiting for the review on that, by the way, CV Tech, unless you already posted it up and I just missed it. But I'm still interested to see your thoughts on the ZTE Axon M. Right now, $127 is a steal, like in my opinion. I mean, I think it's an interesting phone to have. I think I would probably want to take it like on a road trip just to watch video or whatever. But even then, you're still going to see that line down the middle. So I don't know if I can do it or not. I mean, because yes, you have full screen, but no, not really. Because unlike the Samsung foldable screen, at least the Samsung phone, you had the actual full screen. Like here, you're gonna see that little line down the middle. So you tell me, like how does that affect it? How does that affect the usability of the phone? You can get the ZT Max Pro from T-Mobile for 159 right now. Dang, that's a good deal. You can get the ZTE Blade Max Z unlocked T-Mobile. Okay, I'm just scrolling down the list here, guys. And that's because that's an old device and they're still selling it for like $200. So I'm kind of genuinely shocked that they're selling it still. You can get the ZTE Blade Z Max for 109 right now, which again I think there's a second variant of that phone already. So I don't even know. Like that's pretty crazy. So we got a few more users that just jumped in. So if you guys are just joining in, say hi. Go ahead and give a thumbs up here if you guys want to chit chat. Give me a shout out over here, or give yourself a shout out. Just keep things PG. Keep things a little PG, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean that's a good deal for the Axon. You know, I would if I had the money to throw down, I would. But in the meantime, I'm probably just going to be messing around with like the Visible Mobile R2 or whatever, which again, it's $100 smartphone, and I can't leave links down below because I don't get credit for this either way. Uh, TSB, what's up? How you doing? Nasim Khan Gamer, what's up, Nasim? How you doing? How's it going? Thanks for joining in. Again, we're just chit chatting about tech and whatnot. So we're doing good tonight. We're talking about the Axon M, which is by ZTE. Uh, do I know a website called Android Authority? I think everyone that is an Android fan knows Android Authority. They've been around forever. I mean, I used to go to their website all the time back in the day. So yeah, I know the website Android Authority. I even follow them on YouTube. So TSB, which probably knows CV Tech here, and so does Nasim Khan. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, by the way. Naeem Khan Gamer. Naeem, they put I love you, or maybe they meant to put I love you, maybe. I don't know, but thanks. We're just chit chatting here. Nothing too big. I should probably be sleeping right now because I have to be up at 5 in the morning for work. I do open at work tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna drink a lot of coffee tomorrow morning, so don't worry. How's everybody today? I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Naeem Khan Gamer, you're Pakistani. Well, thanks. You're probably my first Pakistani watching me from Pakistan. So thanks, man, for giving me a shout out. Share my video with all your friends so they can all follow me. Also, because I need a bigger following. I need at least 100,000 subs so that I can go YouTube full time. By the way, so the Asus phones are pretty sweet. I haven't really checked out any of their newer devices. The last time I went to Best Buy, every time I go to Best Buy, they seem to have like the same devices. So that's why I'm not really interested in purchasing an Asus phone. Naeem Khan Gamer, thanks for saying that you're a big fan. I appreciate that. I'm glad to know that I have fans all over the world. So check out my other videos if you haven't. I upload at least once or twice a week. I've been uploading a little more recently. But I'm trying to at least post one video a week consistently. So just be weary of that, okay? Let's see. You're saying the Asus Zenfone 6 is the latest phone from Asus. So that's pretty cool. I mean, again, I don't really follow them. I'm sure they're popular like in other parts of the world. Like I know Xiaomi is, and just other companies that are just not really, I guess, saturated in the U.S. market anymore. I remember Asus used to be very popular when it came to like their laptops because their laptops were relatively cheap. But nowadays, like, there's not really a market for laptops anymore. I mean, at least in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you guys know a lot of people that are going out and buying laptops and spending like $500 to $1,000 on laptops anymore? Not really. You know what I mean? I guess if you're a college student, yes, because you might need a laptop to get shit done, obviously. Like me personally, when I went back to school a couple of years ago, when I moved out of my parents' garage, which I'm back over here in my parents' garage, right? And when I moved out of my parents' garage, the first thing that I used with my financial aid money was I bought a cheapy Dell Windows laptop with the touchscreen, and there's even a video on it. I forgot. It's like some sort of Dell computer. It got the job done. I think I used it for about a year or so, I think. Maybe a year and a half, and then I ended up buying a MacBook Pro, I bought a Mac Mini and I stopped using that laptop, or maybe I think I sold it after I bought my MacBook Pro, which I still have my MacBook Pro. I kind of regret selling it because it was a nice little computer. It was like a quad core computer. It had like maybe like 128 gigs of internal storage, but it really wasn't a bad little laptop. It was running Windows 8 though, so Windows 8 UI kind of sucked back then. I wasn't really a fan, but it was cool because I was able to connect HDMI to it. So if I wanted to watch movies portably, I can just connect it to my flat screen TV with just an HDMI connection. You know what I mean? I did edit some of my YouTube videos on it actually. I was using Windows Movie Maker back then, by the way, guys. So for those of you who I don't know if Windows Movie Maker has gotten better, but But ooh, hello, interesting. I wonder if this is a 4x4. Looking for a new ride, guys. What do you guys think of this Chevy Tracker? Nah, it's not a 4x4. You are very kind. Thanks, Naeem Khan Gamer. I appreciate it, man. You guys can send those super chats this way, man. Any donations to my channel will help out tonight, especially when it comes to purchasing new review units. I think the biggest donation that I've gotten for super chat is I think $50 American, and that was I think that was last year around Christmas Eve. I think one of my followers that lives upstate, who I haven't seen him in a while, I don't know if he still follows me on YouTube or not, but he donated $50 out of like pure kindness, you know. I'm in the United States, man. I live in Texas, but I'm in the United States, so that's the only information I'm gonna get. But but for the most part, I was really shocked when I got that $50 like super chat. I was like, wow, like that's the biggest super chat I've ever gotten. I think prior to that, my biggest super chat was like $5 or something like that. And even then, the other day, I had someone donate like $3, and I was live streaming on my R2, so that was pretty good also. So, but anyway, CV Tech making good points over here. You have a gaming channel gamer, Naeem Khan Gamer. I have a gaming channel also. I'm gonna type it out here. It's called BTech. Hold on, BTech Gaming. Go subscribe because I do plan to start gaming again eventually. I don't know when, but if you want to check out that, Samsung says if he can donate $500, he would. I appreciate that, man. Believe me, yeah. CV Tech can vouch that donations do help. If someone were to donate $500, I would be in total shock. I don't even make that much in my YouTube earnings monthly. I think I make like less than half of that in my YouTube earnings. So when you do live chats and people donate, it does help. Even though YouTube does keep a percent of it. You know, I kind of hate that they do. But like, let's say someone were to send me $2, I would get like $1.70 out of that. They do. YouTube does keep a small percentage of the money. So that's just how it is, though. I mean, it's just like eBay when you sell an item, and for $100, they keep like 10% of the item. They end up making like $10 out of the sale. So, but anywho, I mean, again, anything that you guys can donate, cool. If not, no worries, not a big deal. I'm live streaming because I want to, not because I'm looking for any super chats or anything like that. But they're always good to get. So anyways, going back to like the Nokia series phones, I don't think I'll ever get one anytime soon. But if I do, it's got to be like extremely cheap, by the way. And again, I've been very impressed by the Visible R2. I think I'm gonna start probably doing a few comparison videos. I think that's something that a lot of my YouTube followers have been asking for. So like me, I still have like the new Mobile G3 Plus, which is super dirty, by the way. Yeah. So what CV Tech says, out of like $100, YouTube keeps like $30 of it, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I remember when he sent that $50 donations. You're right. I only got like $30 out of that after he sent like $50. So I was like, that kind of sucks, man. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good for the streamer because again, they're making money, but at the same time, it's not good because the person that's sending the user the money is not getting their bang for the buck. So I like eBay. I've always used eBay since like the early 2000s, late 90s. Um, their policies have changed, but I mean the only crappy part about selling is they do make a small percentage, but that's why they're using that's why they have apps now like Mercari and Let Go and OfferUp and even the Facebook Marketplace. You know what I mean? Right? Like they don't take enough already. Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. They do take enough. You know what I mean? I believe that. Yeah, I've never had an issue on eBay, especially when it comes to buying. I have had a few hiccups selling, but most of the time when I sell and something happens, it's not my fault. So if the package gets damaged or whatever, that's really on the carrier. If the item gets damaged through shipping, it's because it was the carrier. It's not because I didn't package it correctly or whatever. A lot of the time, the carriers just don't care on how they're sending merchandise. So a lot of the stuff just gets thrown around in their truck. And not to bash on any like FedEx or UPS or USPS workers or anyone that works in that type of work, but You know, it's true. I mean, a lot of the times they just try to get the job done quick, and you know, sometimes things fall under the cracks, if you know what I mean. So things are gonna happen. You know, stuff like that's gonna happen regardless. So surprised I have such a wider way of people tonight. What do you all think of Swappa versus eBay? I mean, Swappa is more just for smartphones, though, I believe, right? I've never seen anything else on Swappa. I mean, I can't compare it too much because I've never really used Swappa personally. I've seen the website, though, but it's kind of like the same thing where you have like feedback ratings and everything. It's basically a place where you can go buy used smartphones or whatever, and they have like a wide variety of collection on there as well. But I mean, it's basically like it's the same thing. Naeem, you promote my channel, I'll promote your channel, man. How about that, man? Help me get to 100,000 subs, and I'll help promote your channel, dude. Thanks again for watching my channel, though. I appreciate it, man. Have you heard of the $1,000 iMac stand? Yes, I have. Okay, believe me, I follow all those videos, and I follow Mac. And believe me, I don't think I would spend $1,000 on a stand for a monitor. I would just make my own stand. Or do something with that. I don't even know. Okay, guys, if you guys are watching this video, by the way, give Naeem Khan Gamer a check out his channel. He needs 100 subs. You know, he's trying to get to 100 subs. So, because he's asked me so nicely over here, I'm giving you a shout out. So go ahead and check out his channel. It's a gaming channel, so go check it out. There you go. You already have one user subbing to you. Samsung 201126 over here. 21126. So guys, I'm gonna probably already get off, guys. Thanks for chatting with me tonight. I really appreciate it. And the only reason why I'm getting off early tonight is because I do have to be up and awake in like 4 hours for work. So I do need to try to get some sort of sleep. So CV Tech, Tito, Samsung, you know, Naeem Khan Gamer, who else? TSB. You know, thanks for joining in on my chat tonight. I really appreciate it. You know, you guys that are following my channel, or those of you who are on other people's channels that are just seeing my channel now, you know, please hit that subscribe button. You know, it helps out. It helps us out. Hit that notification bell also, guys, so that you guys can check out my latest and greatest vids. Right, I'm trying to post content on the daily, but at the same time, you know, I'm not a full-time YouTuber, so you know, sometimes you might not see me post for a week or so. Sometimes I take a week or two off just so that I can rest and recover from my actual day job. But you know, once my YouTube channel continues to get more growth and everything, and I can start live streaming more consistently, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And I'll continue to put out more videos. But again, thanks again, TSB. Have a good night. CV Tech, y'all have a good night. Y'all, thank you for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button, okay?